Welcome! In today's explainer, we're buckling up for, honestly, one of the most wild roller coaster rides of an athletic career we've ever seen. We're talking about a guy whose sheer physical force and, frankly, gravity-defying athleticism had the whole world watching before he was even old enough to drive a car. A player who has hit the absolute peaks of basketball fame, but also navigated some seriously frustrating, heartbreaking valleys of injuries and off-court scrutiny. We are talking, of course, about Zion Williamson.
Okay, let's dive into this, because to actually wrap your head around Zion Williamson, you really have to understand the massive, unprecedented scale of the phenomenon that surrounded him. I mean, for years, sports media had been desperately searching for that next transcendent landscape-shifting talent. And when Zion popped onto the national radar, the consensus was immediate. It was overwhelming. He wasn't just another highly touted prospect. He was carrying a level of expectation that we genuinely had not seen since LeBron James entered the league way back in 2003.
And look, this wasn't just some manufactured media hype cooked up for clicks. It was completely validated by the people who know the game best. When an NBA superstar like Kevin Durant calls you a once-in-a-generation type athlete, yeah, you know something incredibly special is happening. An anonymous college basketball coach even went as far as to just call him a freak of nature. You have to remember, these are professionals, right? They spend their entire lives evaluating elite talent, and Zion was literally making their jaws drop while he was still just a teenager.
To really trace the origins of this legend, we got to look at his early days in South Carolina. Between 8th and 9th grade, Zion had this absolutely massive growth spurt. He shot up from 5'9" to 6'3", and then hit 6'6" by his sophomore year. And he paired that new, imposing frame with this relentless 5 a.m. training schedule. But what really launched him into the stratosphere were the viral highlight videos. He was out there executing these thunderous, professional-grade slam dunks against high school kids. I mean, it became such a massive cultural moment that even superstar rapper Drake was seen wearing Zion's high school jersey on Instagram.
But, and this is absolutely crucial to note, Zion wasn't just a product of internet hype and flashy dunks. He was a ruthless, highly decorated winner. Just look at this insane list of accolades. He led Spartanburg Day School to 3 consecutive state championships. He was South Carolina Mr. Basketball. He was a McDonald's All-American and a USA Today All-USA First-Team honoree. In his junior year alone, the guy averaged nearly 37 points and 13 rebounds a game. The substance, it completely matched the flash. And this brilliantly illustrates the legendary comparisons he was drawing before he even stepped foot onto a college court. His high school coach actually reported that legendary North Carolina coach Roy Williams said Zion was probably one of the best high school players he had seen since Michael Jordan. No pressure, right? When your name is being tossed around in the exact same breath as Michael Jordan and LeBron James before you even turn 18, wow, the pressure is just unimaginable. It really goes to show just how heavy the weight of those early expectations can be for a young athlete.
All that pressure eventually culminated in a live, prime-time ESPN broadcast where Zion committed to play college ball at Duke University for the legendary Coach K. He wanted in on that famous Duke brotherhood. And get this, he wasn't arriving alone. Duke somehow managed to recruit R.J. Barrett and Cam Reddish right alongside Zion. That made them the very first team to ever land the top 3 recruits in a single class since modern recruiting rankings began. The stage was set for a truly historic season.
And man, what a season it actually was. I really want you to focus on this number for a second. 68. As a freshman, Zion shot an astonishing 68% from the field. That wasn't just good. It led the entire ACC, it ranked second in the whole NCAA Division I, and it set the record for the highest ever field goal percentage by a freshman. His combination of size, speed, and efficiency was, well, honestly, it was completely unguardable. Because of that absolute dominance, he collected an unprecedented haul of awards during that single season at Duke. He completely swept the ACC awards, Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Athlete of the Year, the whole shebang. Nationally, he was the consensus College Player of the Year. To put his all-around game into perspective, he joined Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis as one of the only freshmen in the history of the sport to collect 500 points, 50 steals, and 50 blocks in a single season. He was quite literally everywhere all at once.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how Zion's sheer physical power resulted in one of the wildest moments in college sports history. Just 36 seconds into a highly anticipated game against their bitter rivals, North Carolina, Zion planted his foot and his Nike shoe literally ripped completely apart, causing a grade 1 knee sprain. The fallout was absolutely staggering. Get this, the very next day, the value of Nike stock dropped by $1.1 billion. It was a massive cultural event.
that actually sparked intense nationwide debates about the NCAA, the fact that student athletes weren't getting paid while generating this immense billion-dollar value.
Following his recovery and an incredible run in the ACC tournament, Zion did the expected and declared for the NBA draft. To absolutely no one's surprise, on June 20, 2019, he was selected first overall by the New Orleans Pelicans. The supposed savior had officially arrived in the Big Easy.
But, as we now know, Zion's transition to the NBA has been a true tale of two extremes. On one hand, you have these unearthly physical abilities. When he's on the floor, he makes history. Actually, scratch that. He tied Shaquille O'Neal's record of 25 consecutive games, scoring at least 20 points on 50% shooting, a streak literally no one else had matched since the three-point era began. But then, on the other hand, you have the heartbreaking fragility of his career. From a torn meniscus in his rookie preseason to a Jones fracture in his foot that cost him a whole year, his brilliance is just constantly being interrupted by his own body.
You can really see this start-and-stop frustration of his early NBA seasons when you break down the games played. He played just 24 games his rookie year. Then, he bounced back in a huge way, playing 61 games in his sophomore season, earning his first All-Star selection, and putting up 27 points a game. But just as he looked totally unstoppable, total heartbreak. 0 games played in the 2021 to 2022 season because of that foot injury and the surgeries that followed. It is such a stark reminder of just how fragile a pro athlete's career can be.
Still, despite the injuries, the Pelicans knew they had a generational talent when he was actually healthy. So, in July 2022, they inked him to a massive 5-year extension. We're talking a guaranteed $193 million, with the potential to balloon to $231 million if he made an All-NBA team. But there was a catch. After some intense media scrutiny regarding his conditioning, including some pretty vocal public comments from Hall of Famers like Charles Barkley and Shaq, the Pelicans actually included a specific clause tying portions of that salary to him maintaining a specific weight and body fat percentage. It really highlights the complex business reality of managing a player with such unique physical gifts and risks.
Let's move to and see how this builds through his more recent seasons, which unfortunately mapped out a continued roller coaster. In January 2023, a hamstring injury sidelined him after a really dominant stretch, abruptly ending his season. Then, jump to April 2024. In a play-in game, he put up an undeniable masterpiece, 40 points, 11 rebounds against the Lakers, only to suffer a game-ending injury right in the final minutes. And most recently, a bone contusion in his lower back in March 2025 ended his season after playing just 30 games. The flashes of brilliance are blinding, but those constant interruptions, they are just devastating.
Yet, when you look beyond the court, Zion is a highly unique, surprisingly relatable, and incredibly marketable guy. I mean, before he even played a single NBA game, he signed a $75 million shoe deal with Jordan Brand. That's the second largest rookie shoe deal in history. He's also shown immense warmth and generosity. During the 2020 COVID suspension, he personally pledged to pay the salaries of the Smoothie King Center employees for a full 30 days. And, in a really fun twist, he's a massive fan of the anime and manga series Naruto. He loves it so much he even collaborated on an unreleased Naruto Air Jordan sneaker. It's a really great reminder of the actual person behind this massive phenom.
However, his off-court life has also seen moments of severe turbulence, and it's important we note the facts exactly as they've been reported. In May 2025, a civil lawsuit was filed against Zion by a former girlfriend accusing him of rape and domestic violence, alleging years of abuse. Zion Williamson has firmly denied these claims, and the legal process surrounding these highly serious allegations is currently a matter of public record. So the crucial point is, where does all of this leave us today? Well, in the 2025-26 season, Zion found a return to health, appearing in 62 games. He put up strong numbers, averaging 21 points, almost 6 rebounds, and over 3 assists a game while shooting 60% from the field. Yet, despite him finally being available, the Pelicans struggled as a team. They finished with a 26-56 record and missed the playoffs entirely. Which leaves us with this final lingering thought. Will the reality of Zion Williamson's career ever fully match that unparalleled LeBron-level hype he entered the league with? We've seen the unmatched power, those historic shooting percentages, the jaw-dropping highlights. But we've also seen the chronic injuries, the team struggles, the setbacks. He is a generational talent caught in this agonizing battle with his own physical limits, demonstrating just how fragile the gap between immense potential and lasting legacy truly is. What happens next in the Zion Williamson story? Well, that is something every basketball fan will be waiting to see. Thanks for joining this explainer, and we'll see you next time.